Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Nerdy Day Reviews, where we typically will used to be a podcast. Now it's just going to be its own thing. It has a whole playlist, as you can see on YouTube. You're right here, youtube.com/nerdyday. But give us a subscribe down below. But yeah, they've been shorter than I would want it, like not long form discussions. We're going to keep Nerdy Day podcast to just straight up like breaking down news and stuff like that. Even if it's a short one, like a 10-15 minute, that's still a little better than like 3 minutes or 5 minutes for a review. But yeah, with that, we're going to launch Nerdy Day Reviews with our new review for 2018's The Messenger, which let's get into it right now. All right, everyone, let's get into it. The Messenger, developed by Sabotage Studios and published by Devolver Digital. I played it on PlayStation 5. So for the story, as a demon army besieges his village, a young ninja ventures through a cursed world to deliver a scroll paramount to his clan's survival. What begins as a classic action platformer soon unravels into an expansive time-traveling adventure full of thrills, surprises, and humor. Gameplay. Dynamic, acrobatic gameplay and ultra-tight controls worthy of an epic ninja adventure. Character upgrades, new abilities, hidden levels, and branching paths to discover. Meticulously designed 8-bit and 16-bit sprites, animations, backgrounds in the spirit of the classics. A memorable cast of offbeat villains, bosses, and associates. Also, an original soundtrack by renowned chiptune composer Rainbow Dragon Eyes, handmade using FamiTracker. All right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of this review specifically. The best part of this game is humor and its callbacks. I know there are a bunch of games that have humor, but I haven't had a game that generally made me laugh and have some of the most badass moments and tell such a compelling story since Final Fantasy IX, which is saying a lot because 9 is my favorite Final Fantasy game. When time travel gets introduced, it really changes the game, no pun intended. Being an elder gamer, 36 at the time of making this review, don't judge me, and coming from both the 8-bit and 16 eras, I adored the love that was shown to those eras of gaming. With that came some difficulties, but we'll get into that in a bit. But one of my favorite things is how the game continues to evolve into different games as it progresses, from 18-bit platforming to 16-bit, then to a full-blown Metroidvania, which absolutely blew my mind when I unlocked it. And it was so perfectly done with the scroll that you have to hold on to the whole beginning of the game, finding out that that's actually the map, and why didn't you open it? That's stupid not to open it. Of course, humor is subjective in this sense, but I can safely say that the humor in this game is probably the greatest thing that it has going for it. Not to mention, then this at least to me, you have an amazing platformer and with a very big difficulty spike, which we're about to get into. Now, for me, the difficulty was one of the negative things, and now I know the old adage of get good, but I'm old in the sense of people who play video games, and my skill set is mainly third-person action adventure games or Japanese role-playing games. I know, excuses, but where in a normal Nerd Day review that would affect the score, this is one of the first games that the story and mainly the humor, as I mentioned earlier, propelled me to complete the game. Longer stretches of breaks helped, but I can't ding a developer for wanting their game to hit a certain feel. Now, do I want the game to have an easier experience or difficulty options? Of course, because people like me, baby modes matter. But as well as the difficulty, there was an obtuse nature of the 16-bit eras that came with the nostalgia. Thank God for guides for this game, because I think that helped propel, especially in that later half, the Metroidvania half, to find what I'm supposed to do next. I felt a little obtuse in that area, but not everything needs to come back from the old days. With that being said, Sabotage hit it out of the park with their first game. The love they have for gaming in general, especially the 90s, really shows. While personally I think it could be a bit obtuse toward the end, as I mentioned, and the difficulty was a bit of a hindrance for me personally, 2018's The Messenger is a must play for any fan of gaming's past, people who love humor or challenging platforming. The Messenger gets a 4 out of 5 on a Nerdy Day scale. I can't wait to dive to Sea of Stars now. All right, and that is the review for The Messenger. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for supporting the channel and everything that we do over at Nerd Day. And with that, want to give a quick shout out at the end of here to my Patreons. That's right, you can support me at patreon.com/nerdaday. All the links are down below. Like Hopefully Awesome, Matt and Maggie, those guys are awesome. Slowly getting back into watching their Smallville podcast, which I love so much. We have as well Jeff Felsher, Susan, Rest Pass, my partner in crime, over at Apron Work Podcast. If you like wrestling, check out our wrestling podcast down below in the links. And Brandon, thank you so much, everyone, for supporting me. And we will catch you in the next one. I will see you guys later.